Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. It's me, Tia Rogers, to take care of your health, save, and invest, and grow your business mentor. Welcome back to How to Win in Life and Win in Business. As we are at the third day of 2024, yesterday we kind of reviewed and went over starting when you're first starting out. And I gave you a few scenarios, examples to kind of pull from as life examples, but I want you to look at your own personal life. I want you to give me comments on the suggestions that we presented with you yesterday, but I also want you to look at your own life and create your own uh, outline of your life from the example that we had, and know that the variables that we're using, the algebra of life, right? The algebra of life. We know that the AX represents everything that we are and what we do and how we do it. And wait a minute, let me see if I can pull it up, because I don't want to get it wrong, because we've been together all this time. So I know you guys are sticking with me, but I like us to be still on the same track. So as we're getting clear objectives, we're looking at AX, the expression, and how it applies to our real life situations. You see me, right? I need notes. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm trying to formulate a lot. When I first started in this journey, um, just a little transparency here as I'm getting it together, and we're talking about the variables, algebra of life and life success and business success. Um, the expressions represents a linear equation. You know, it is the best way that I could kind of explain finding the value in your journey. We're working from the 5W framework, which is the who, what, where, when, and why of our lives. And we revisit this every so often because we talked about how each cycle, each phase of life, we become someone different. Our wants, desires, our needs change, our idea of life, our perspective of life, different experiences help mold and change our lives. So when I first embarked on this journey, I embarked on this journey as a resource of creating extra income. And it kind of grew from there. It didn't grow from trying to um, gather it all up, so to speak, like yum yum being greedy. No, it was a natural process as I was finding out who I am, what it is that I wanted, where did I see myself at in life, what see myself doing, um, examining where I currently was at, um, as well as why, where, when, and why. And when was I going to take the action steps, right? So as things gradually built over my time of training and implementing what I was learning, and a lot of times, it's so funny now that I think back on it, I was so busy improving myself and building me while building the business that some of the things I was doing, I think I was doing it just going based off of what the teachings, the coaches were saying, what the leaders were telling us to do to implement things that work. And when I finally stopped to take a breath and look at it all, it was a little bit overwhelming. I was amazed of how I was able to kind of keep up and stay up on everything. But like in life, you can juggle a lot of balls, but at sometimes those balls will fall, and then you have to start picking it back up and doing it again. So as I'm picking the balls up and coming back at it again, and again, because I've been at this since 2016 is when I started, but 2018, I believe, is when I really started showing up for myself and showing up for my business and showing up for my teammates as well as my partners, um, to embark on this mission of helping 1 million people and transforming lives and helping people to get their lives in order. But I had to get my own life in order first in order to be able to do so. I believe I shared with you how for years I worked in the field of human services, which I enjoyed immensely and still do to this day. It's just a part of me. Some you ever think about the occupation that you fulfill today? Is it a part of you that it's just you would do it regardless whether you got paid or not? So I was blessed to go to school, get an education, and work in a field that I actually do love. But there comes a times when you can outgrow the area in which you're in, and you need to broaden your horizons and go into something new. Or maybe um, you are faced with life decisions where you have to make a choice, where you have to choose your health over, an income. So, whichever your situation may be, mine was a little combination of the both. Uh, and making that decision and taking the steps, my 8X expression is the factors of the actions that I take every day to achieve my goals, because we talk about the -0 equals 1 plus the square root of 5 divided by 2, which gives us 1.6181 steps towards becoming better, doing the things that I need to do inwardly, because I gotta know what's going on the inside. Sometimes when you live life long enough, or maybe if you, sometimes we experience things young. And yesterday, I think I shared with you that you can learn from young and old. There's no discrimination in education. We all can learn together. And it's great because we bring our different perspectives, we bring our different experiences, and we bring different knowledge, talents, and skills that we have. And together we can sit down and put it all together and figure out how we can work together and grow one another, support one another, and get the job done. So, and the same thing happens in the workplace, right? But should it be, my situation is that I needed to expand my wings. As I started out in 2018 and started implementing and learning, and there's still things that I learned, and I will invite you to um, join me, to join on in to some of the learning sessions, because guess what? I'm still learning. I've been in business now for almost maybe 5 years, possibly going on 6. I haven't really done the math. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just doing the work. So I've learned a little something, something. And the most important thing that I learned who I was as a person. I connected even more so with my life values, morals, ethics, and principles in which I operate from. And it's so funny because they say if you don't learn a lesson, you'll repeat it again. And I'm just going to share this. I had a situation. Anyone that has ever worked with me, and I know some of my coworkers follow me, some of my peoples, my chicas and chiques, chicos and chiques. Um, and everyone has their particular style of work. And I am a structured type person. I'm detailed. Um, I need to know all the information as far as what needs to take place if I'm going to be involved. So a little pet peeve of mine is I don't like misinformed information. I don't like um, incorrect information. And I like to be treated the way that I treat others. So, with that being said, maybe I didn't treat some people so well. I guess. I don't know. I thought I did. However, um, there's a way to deliver a message, there's a way to interact with someone, there's a way to get someone to come along and work with you. And one of my pet peeves is communication, clear, concise communication. And I know communication is one of the things that I continuously have been working on from big part majority of my life. I believe it was brought to my attention through my trainings, through life experience in different arenas that I've placed myself in, where sometimes I don't always communicate as clearly, or maybe I'm not understanding or hearing the communication that I'm receiving. So I've learned to take my time to ensure that I have all the information and communication clear, so we're all on the same page. We're not thinking or assuming anything. We know exactly what it is that we're supposed to be doing and how it's supposed to be done, and so on and so forth. Well, long story short, I think it was sometime last year, because depending upon how you're brought on boarded to any opportunity, is going to shape your perception. It's going to give you a first impression that's probably going to be a lasting impression, unless you have that capability to look beyond some of our shortfalls, because we're all human. We're not perfect, not by a long shot, but we, in the haste of, I'll say, momentum, when you're on the run in your business, there's so many things that you're doing that you may forget maybe one or two steps. So you have to really be mindful that you're intentional about the steps that you are taking, because one misstep could mess up the whole thing. And it applies to life planning. It applies to planning your life as far as the life that you want to have, the financial support and stability that you want to have, the type of home you want to live in, the number of children, and the idea of your children's career paths that you see and envision for them. Even though, as the process, the children sometimes don't really necessarily cater to your vision, they have their own vision of their lives. And then there's an adjustment period there of allowing them to be who they are. The same thing applies when you are bringing someone on, or speaking with someone that's interested in starting a new adventure in their life. A big part of it is to listen, to see, where are they at right now, and what is their vision? How big is their vision? And what is their real reason why as to what they're doing it? Many of us, like I said, I started out, I was just looking to make extra income, but I soon learned the value. I did earn extra income, but I learned more value in the building process, and learning about money's really just a currency. It's something that you can earn. It's a source of income, but it's what we do with that source of income that is going to make the difference in the long terms in our lives. And I believe I shared the story with you before. If not, you can read the book, Finding Your Way. I believe I tell a little bit of my story and there as well, of my journey, of how I got here, the steps that I took, the different things that I experienced, and the frame of mind that I had to work really hard towards, to put myself in and stick to the commitment. Because I always tell you, your life is serious business. Only you can live it. Nobody else can live it for you. So your AX is your actions that you take towards achieving your goals, right? And the B equation, let's see, where is it? Sorry, guys. And the B can be the B, okay, the AX is your action steps that you take. B is the cohesiveness or consistency in life and business. And it could symbolize factors of actions that you take, achieve your goals, while B might be the starting point or initial resources you have. So B is the initial resources that you have. My apologies, guys, because I'm flipping behind, flipping between two things today because we're talking about embracing life planning, embarking on new adventures. And it's so important to understand that I, I don't think that I've ever thought that someone else really could change my life. I just knew that I wanted better for my life, better living conditions, a better ability to earn money, to be able to give my children the experiences that I wanted them to experience. But along the journey, and I'm taking it because I say from the womb to the tomb, because this is a real serious journey. Because our childhood plays a part in our young adulthood. Our young adulthood and childhood plays a part in our early adulthood to mid adulthood, and carries into our elder years. So if we're not doing the work on us, if we're not catching those triggers, if we're not catching those warning signs, or we're not catching ourselves when we're going from 0 to 100 real quick over something that really doesn't need to go that deep, or if we're finding ourselves breaking others down to somehow kind of make you feel better or look better, you got to kind of question yourself. Why do I need to do that to feel good within myself? Long story short, I learned through watching my parents and all the adults that were around me, all go-getters, some business owners, some very good employees, shop stewards, different things. Kind of explains the kind of the person that I am, right? Policy, procedure, kind of keeping track of the health and safety of everybody. Want to keep the temperature of the morale going on, because if one person's down, then we need to find a way to support them and lift them up so that we can bring them back into the fold. And sometimes you have to allow people to go through the process of what they got to go through, but just let them know that you're there. Because as much as you want to help somebody, sometimes you can't help someone because they really have to be the one to be the driving force to help themselves. Being a mother that has lost a child due to homicide, and being around or in the communities, in groups, in communities, going to support group meetings, participating in different events around the homicides victims and their families. There's a lot of pain there, because to have your seed that you nurtured, carried for 9 months, raised, and put gave them your time, energy, the best guidance you could, so that they could be productive adults in society, to choose the life that they want to live and know how to process their thoughts, maintain their actions and behaviors, and interact with others, show kindness and love, and just be a positive part of not just your family, but yet the community in which we live in. It's heart jerking. It's not the easiest thing to come back from. It's not the easiest thing to go through. Some of us bounce back quicker than others, and some of us take a little bit more time. But in that process, we have to allow ourselves grace. But even as we're giving ourselves grace to get up and pick up the pieces of our lives, to begin living a life without a piece of our life, it's a very challenging, difficult thing to get back up on a horse or get on a bike and start riding. But it can be done. It's possible. with all the pain, all the things that we have done to keep the memory alive, to still nurture and love on one another as we're all still grieving. The weight of the grief may be a little lighter, but we're still grieving. But we're always focused on the overall family goal. And I believe I shared it in a post with someone um, yesterday evening, how they expressed how nothing's working. Those that you think love and care for you and support you, sometimes the trauma of losing someone is so traumatic that we don't even know what to say to you. And sometimes we fail to be a little more sensitive or be more thoughtful about the words that we choose when we're trying to support our loved ones and letting them know that, whether it's they're in a better place, um, there are angels, they're watching down over us. Um, Different things that people say. They're not suffering anymore. Um, Sometimes where you are mentally, those words can cut, and people don't realize it. Asking questions, wanting to know what happened, and all that stuff. It's not the time. Allow the parent of the child that was lost, allow them to talk to you and tell you. Don't ask them questions because they don't really have a lot of answers. And right there in their mind, it's just all over the place because we are waking up every day with the realization that a child that we would see damn near every day in our lives, we're not seeing them. And this year is in August, it's going to mark our second year uh, of living life without him. But in the post, I just shared my coping skills and mechanisms and how I am dealing with that loss. It's a different loss than losing your mom and your dad. It's a different loss than losing your grandmother and your grandfather. It's a different loss than losing a sibling, niece, nephew, uncle, when you lose your child. All losses are great losses. That's true. But when you are offering your condolences and you are, trying to comfort your loved one, sometimes you have to let them just feel what they feel and let them go through what they go through, but be there for them, to remind them to eat dinner or eat breakfast, to get up and at least get up and take a shower, get up, let's go take a walk. Let's get up and let's see what we can do today, because sometimes it's just that serious. Sometimes it's not even about having any conversation. Sometimes they just want you to sit with them, or they may need you to sit with them. Counseling is definitely a work in progress, because you will hear me say therapy, counseling, going to a psychologist, all that stuff. It only works if you are ready, willing, and able to work it. If you are in a resistant state, nothing in that session is going to work out for you. And you're going to leave there feeling like it's depleted, that you didn't get the best benefit out of it, and maybe that it's not working. Everything in life works if you work it. Sometimes it's hard to peel back the layers and look at the rawness of it all, the good, bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. Somehow I just been blessed with that, I don't know, that ability to be able to dissect situations and certain life experiences that way, probably based off of the training that I've had. Learning bedside manner, learning how to deal with someone that's going through uh, different life experiences that cause depression, sadness, anxiety, fear, doubt, and even make you doubt your self-worth. So I've worked a lot with people, helping them to get back to their core center, helping them find out who they are, what makes them work, and not covering anything that they deem as important in their life, because you can't tell someone what their trauma is. You can't tell someone how to get over that trauma. What you can do is try to help them work through it and help them see the brighter side, the better day. What happened, happened. Let's accept it. It is what it is. How can we become better as an individual and move forward? Because we are powerless over others. Learning how to speak our truth and standing by it, and being bold enough to take the action to match the truth and put it in motion. Standing with integrity, sincerity, and allowing your life to go through the evolution process that we humans go through. Because we do. We go through changes all the time. But when you're incorporating all these changes, you have a job, you've got different community organizations or things that you like to participate in, you got the children you're raising, all that stuff. When something like that happens, all of that feels like it's crumbling down. It's like you I don't know. It's something, it just feels like it's just dark and heavy. But you can work through it. And like I said, I'm grateful that I made the decision in 2016, because my experience of life, being married, divorced, being a single mom of two, and now being a grandma, and having lost my son, and still having to still stand up. We talked about yesterday, being a provider, the protector, being the breadwinner. It's my job to stand up and make sure that I'm setting the best example for all of those that are watching and counting on me, that come to me for advice, come to me to process what we're all going through. And understanding that together we are much stronger than we are apart, or fighting one another, or going back and forth, trying to pick it all apart, trying to solve something that is right now unsolvable. But Lord willing, He works in mysterious ways. We don't see what God's doing in the background. Just like many times, you don't see what many business owners do in the background that leads to their success. And that's why we're looking at this equation of AX plus B and applying it to our life success. The actions that I took during that process, and I have to admit, a lot of times my family didn't understand. It was freaking my daughter out of how I could sit and listen to a webinar and still go and do what I needed to do every day, even though we were spending the last 3 days with her brother. She was trying to keep me strong. I'm trying to keep her strong. The social worker comes and she's like, well, can you please allow me to help you? And I had to tell her, I don't know how to help you help me, because I'm so used to being in my mode, like provider, protector, breadwinner, like, you know what I mean? And here, everything is smacked up in the air. But if it was not for the decisions that I had made prior to that life experience, I don't know where my focus would have been. And I'm not saying that what worked for me is going to work for the next parent that experiences that, but I know that it helps to focus on the most positive. It helped me to realize the all the love that I put into this young man and the love that he poured back into me and his sister and those that he loved, his family, because he was a big family guy. I think about what his life represented to all of us that was connected to him. And with all the darkness and the sadness that I felt, the tears that fell uncontrollably, thinking of who he was, and his name fit so perfectly because we called him Man Man because we called him he was twice the man. He was a man's man. So, oh God, we love him so. But it was in those moments as I'm talking to God to cover my family in this moment. And as a healthcare provider, you see life and death on an everyday basis. We see babies born and we see people leave here. So there are certain characteristics that you will see in someone that is in the transitional state. And it's so crazy when I think back on that, those 3 days. Because when I felt him the first original time when they were going to go operate on him, he was cold as ice. And I knew then in my heart that I had to give him permission to go. I had to give him permission and let him know that if he could not withstand all that he had to go through, that it was okay to leave us, and we were going to do our best to honor his memory. So within those 3 days, like I said, there's different things. They call this the decline, where you might see your loved one, their arms are going and their legs are going at the same time, and they look like they're going up steps or they're going somewhere. They're going up, and they're doing it. There's different bodily functions that happens. So I'm seeing all these signs, and I'm watching my daughter, and I'm watching my nephews, and I'm watching my beloved daughter in love, and other family members uh, taking all this moment. We had laughter because he was a funny guy and he could make you laugh. So we just remembered everything that was great about him, that we loved about him. And I decided to take that and honor his memory because together we're still working out our lives. It's funny. We have this tendency to think that when our kids turn 18, that they're grown and that they can handle life. I'm 55 years old and I feel like I still need my mom. And my dad. But I know that what they have instilled in me during their time here and everything that we share, I hold on to that and I bring that along with me too. I bring it along with me too. And I take everything from my loved ones that I've lost over the time span of my life. And everything that I love and value and treasure about them is what I honor in them and what I do every day. And because they were such strong individuals, it's a no-brainer that you're going to show up too. You're going to show up even when your legs and your knees feel like you're going to buckle, you're going to show up. So that's what the A and the X and the B means. being consistent in taking actions and achieving the goals that you're setting for yourself. So you're probably wondering, how does this apply to financial planning, right? Because it does. Financial planning, life planning, because even the best plans for your life can be, what's the word? Can be redirected. Let's say it like that. The best plans. But at least if you have a plan, if you set it out, if you sit down and you discuss your goals and your dreams and what it is that you see for your life being with someone, sharing that gains knowledge. And then you find like-minded people that are kind of like on the same path as you. They have a different end goal. They have different goals, not say end goal, because the overall goal, from what my experience of meeting people, and I've met many of you, and I just want to say thank you for all that you have contributed to my life, and I hope that I've contributed something to your life. And some of them you um you've met through this platform, and you see them in our course, How to Win in Life and Win in Business, because that's how serious it was for me to connect to the genuine person, to show you that everyday people are making decisions for their lives that's better in their life, and they're doing the same things that you're doing. They're going to work, they're raising their families, they just want more, and they know that it's going to require them to do some different things, and possibly a lot more of it. You'll hear me say, when you go to work, make sure that you're working as hard as you're working for that company. Make sure that you're working just as hard, if not twice as hard, on yourself, because it's true. I'll see a post, because I'm a part of so many groups, um, and I love it because uh, some of those people are really cool people, and I know them personally. Some of them, not everybody, but some of them I know personally. So I like to watch our growth, because I've been following our track record from the time we've met each other. If we've met in elementary school till now, middle school, high school, college, wherever we've connected in our lives, I still follow, and I'm still the same. I still want to know what's going on, and I still tell you I'm proud of you when I see you overcome challenges or obstacles that was once in your way, that's no longer in your way, and now you are on towards a better path in your life and journey in your life. You're opening your life to new experiences, and I love the work you're putting out. So, and I like to tell you that from time to time. I really like to tell you in person, because it feels so much better, because then I get to hug you, and tell you how much I love you and appreciate you. But that's just part of the whole life building, being able to still stay focused, even when it feels like the whole world around you is falling apart, and everybody thinks you're kind of off your rocker, because somehow you're still able to grieve, because the grief, I had to grieve, but connecting with someone else that also was in a grief phase or have the grief experience. And I don't know if it matters the length of time of the grief, but um, I know through the grief counseling and services that I received, there was times where we mirrored one another. There was times where we were growing in the same areas, to the point that we're now, where the session started out, and I can share it because it's my session. So I'm not breaking confidentiality. I'm talking about my own business. So in the process of the grief counseling, and it has been about 5 years, if not longer. Sometimes it's just a check-in. Sometimes it's a full-blown session. It depends on what's going on in your life. And when you are experiencing grief in your life, and I'm speaking on grief this morning because that's fresh, that is where I'm at, that is where I've been for some time, and I am slowly but surely glowing up. The clouds are lifting. The rain is drying up for a little bit, and we're starting to see some leeway. So each session represented what it needs to represent in that time. But I had to bring me to the session, all of me. That means bring my anger, bring my frustration, bring my issues, my suspicions, uh, my thoughts, as well as everything else that was going on in my life. Where was I at in the workplace? Where was I at in building the business? Where am I at with the family and bringing them together and trying to make sure that we have them covered? In Jesus' name, amen. Keeping them all together, making sure everybody's okay in their grief process, because I can't stop it, but I have to allow it. And then it gets even more complicated when you're talking about grief and you're dealing with different age groups. Each different age group grieves differently. They express grief differently, and they act it out. So we're dealing with some real life issues here going on, at the same time, still trying to keep your chin up, hold your head up high, and keep going. It's not always easy. And many of us will fall, but we get back up. Remember yesterday I said, help me help you, but as long as you're pushing up, we'll help you get up. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm not big on titles, and here's why. Because your title doesn't mean that you're not above pulling up your sleeves and getting down and getting dirty, getting into the thick of it. I'm known for one to be all dressed up and something happening, and they'll be like, what are you doing? Why are you moving that? I don't care. It needs to be done. Let's get it done. It doesn't matter. I can do it without getting all messed up. I know. I would go visit my grandmother when she was alive, when she was in the hospital one time. And it was my responsibility was to make sure that she had her AM care before I went to work. So I got up that morning. I decided what I was going to wear to go to work. So I had the same suede outfit on that my profile picture is, that everybody keeps telling me to change that picture. But I love that dress. But anyway, that same outfit. At this time, my grandmother's sight was going, it was leaving her. She could see shadows. She couldn't really see who we were, but she knew our voices. And so that morning I popped in on her at the hospital, and I said, hey, grandma, what's going on? Hey, Gran, at that time. Hey, Gran, good morning, blah, blah, blah. We have our regular family check-in, because grandma goes down the whole list. she wants to know how everybody's doing, what's going on in your life, what you got going on, what's going to happen at work today. And then she wishes you a good day, work and school, because at that time I think I was in work and school. But I stopped in, got her basin, filled it up with water, got all her hygiene stuff all together and everything. So as I am handing her the washcloth to do the parts that she can do, and I do the parts that she didn't, she had paused for a minute, and she said, she called me Missy. So that's a secret, and only those that see this will know it. In my family, that's the only ones that call me that. She said, Missy, what you got on? I said, oh, nothing, grandma. I'm just dressed for work. I got this suede dress or whatever that I bought from Marshalls or whatever. So she said, come here. So she felt me from my head down to my clothes. She wanted to know how my hairstyle was. That feeling it gave her that insight. And then when she touched my clothes, and she said, "Oh no, you can't be in here. You're gonna get all messed up before you go to work." I said, "Mama, I ain't getting messed up. We got this." And we did. We had that. she got ready for the day. We made a red. I did a red and all that stuff and everything, and I rolled out. The next person was up. So I'm just built different. And I know I'm built different. My perspective of life is that if I don't care for you, you're not going to care for me. And even if you don't care for me, I still know how to care for you and love you with the long handled spoon. Because, I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers. Where I don't go nowhere I'm not welcome. I don't go nowhere I'm not invited. Um, and nowhere people don't want me to be. I'm good in my lane. I really, really am. There's peace here. There's harmony here. There's joy and love and happiness because I'm intentional about it every day, every day. And even more so now that I have experienced uh, the loss of my child. And there's many parents like me, and you're struggling. And I know what it is to be in that struggle. But I urge you in this 2024, because we're never going to stop grieving them. At least I don't think I am. I don't think so. I don't think we're never going to stop grieving them. But the grief is going to get lighter. We have to find joy. I'm asking you, if you're struggling and you're feeling like you can't go one step further, or that loss is so deep, and I know it's a void that we're never going to fill. The only thing that's going to fill that void is the love that we have for them, the joy that they brought us, and even the grief, because we know, let's be honest, raising kids ain't always easy and we ain't always getting along, but we love each other regardless. And when you are a mother and you are there for every waking moment, every step, every new adventure in their life, and you're looking forward to who they're becoming, and someone snuffs that away from you, it's devastating. But I want you to think about that child that you lost, the joy that they bring to your life. And I speak about them in present terms. Yes, I do, because I feel that their spirit will always be around us. Mm. Think about the love of that child. Think about what that child represented. What was that child's dreams? Maybe there's something that child enjoyed. Maybe you can get involved in something or create something out of something you and that child discussed, or something that that child said was special. It was something about that child, something they were working on, something that they were excited about, or something that made them light up. Take those moments and let that fill that void. Yes, the pain is there, and yes, it hurts. But when I think about that young man's smile, and I think about what's today? Today is Wednesday. Oh, good. I think let me make sure today is. Oh yeah, today's Wednesday. When I think about that child, especially on Wednesdays, because Wednesdays are our trash day, and between the two of us, although he be in and out, he did not reside permanently here, but he knew he always had a place. He always had a home. It didn't matter. He could go live his life, but he always had a place here. That's what moms do. That's what dads do. That's what we do. We create the place. And when they need a safe haven to come and get their mind right and get them on the right track, because over here, you're going to get your mind right. We ain't playing that. We not getting in the way because we handling business. All that drama, all that blaming, fussing, and all that nonsense, legal stuff. We don't got time for that. Keep that over there because that's in the way, and that's taken away from us building. So anything that's taken away from us as a family, taken away from what it is that we're building, um, as far as generational legacies, wealth. And the amazing thing is that when you talk about building generational wealth and generational legacy, I get amazed because I think back to my grandmothers who did just that. And guess what? A lot of people sometimes you're thinking is monetary. But when I tell you the same rules that my grandmoms had back in the day that we all governed ourselves by and followed and abided, we still do it to this day. The phone line's still in place. One person, one elder head person can make, or two, make a phone call and start doing a call, the roll call, seeing who's present, who's not, who's available, who's not available. We're still answering. So that's the kind of legacy I want to leave. A family that prays together, stays together. And that's what I love about all of you that stick with me, because we pray together every morning. We got to pray before we get up and go out here and do what we do. We got to be covered because you never know what you're going to run into. You know, you got to protect you from the head down to the feet. And that's why I love you guys, because you know that there's something greater than yourself. You know that there's a driving force and called within the universe, call it the universe, call it God, call it whatever you want, but you know that there's something greater than you that helps you get through certain things in life. And I'll tell you all the time, I've seen God's hand show up in different things. I believe I've even had him whisper in my ear, or something whispered in my ear. But I also know the peace that he brought in the midst of the most crushing storm of my life. Because you didn't tell me. You was not going to tell me. I'm not going to see. I was going to see this young man grow into the man that I seen him becoming, because we were working very hard at it. I was. I really was. I enjoyed questioning him. Like I said, today's Wednesday trash day. This is a morning where he would pop in early, come in. He liked to come in right before he run out to go to work. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess that's what boys do, check on their moms. I don't know what he thought was going on, but he was always close. Even when I didn't know he was around, he was around. So um he come in like, Mom, today's trash day. You know, don't forget to take the trash out or whatever. Or he'll tell me, I'll be here later. I'm gonna put the trash out. And then later comes and he don't come. Him don't put the trash out. So I would have to either put the trash out, or we both meet each other on Thursday morning. Sometimes he beat me to it. He'd come Thursday mornings and get the trash out before the trash man come and collect it. Sometimes I would get up and get the trash out before the trash man collected. So today is definitely the day that I am going to be through making sure the trash gets out, because I have a tendency to miss like a week or so. And it's a good thing it's not too many of us here, because it would be loads of trash. But that's a story that's all about nothing and all about something. But at the end of the day, we're going to go through different things in life, and having a plan to to make sure that you stay grounded, to make sure that you stay focused, and to make sure that you continue to take the action steps towards the better that you said that you wanted. Because even in the midst of that, I knew that I was working towards better. I was working towards something to sustain and substantiate us even more so, to strengthen us as a family, with the option for them to join if they choose not, if they choose to or not to. The thing that gets me is that, imagine having an opportunity, right, to join someone in their adventure of life, and you, just because you made the decision to join, and you join and you're doing the work and you're doing everything that goes with it, and then whatever whatever I generate, just because You're my partner, you're part of my team, you get a percentage of what I'm creating to help sustain you and your family. And the same thing continues to happen the more we continue to help other people. That was a light bulb that went off in my head. An investment in myself based off of a decision that will not only impact my life, but can also, if I do it well and I master the steps and I master the skills needed to improve, that I can earn and share as well as still invest and become better at managing and budgeting and being more creative and being more working, being more collaborative, as well as creating unity and strength in that same circle. I don't know about you, but that kind of excites my brain a little bit. But anyway, um, as I close this out, I'm sorry. Thank you for your time this morning. I know I kind of went on a tangent, but some days we learn and some days we just dialogue because I find that it's needed. When I first started um, coming in, the particular sponsor or individual that brought me in, I went straight to training. I hit the ground running. It wasn't even a fact that I needed to see anything, any overview or nothing. Pretty much, I knew where I was in my life. I knew what I was trying to do in my life, and I knew that I had tried everything else except for the one thing. So I decided to try it, and that grew. So now, as I'm continuing to grow and building my team, looking for quality people, because I need people that's real. You're coming from the heart. You really are here because you want to be here. Because if you don't want to be here, anything can happen, and then you're gonna be gone. It don't even matter. Casper the ghost can come and say boo, and it's all over for you. So, that's not who I'm looking for to be a part of my team. That's not who I'm looking for to begin to start building and investing and really impacting our lives. My life has changed from 2016 till now. Last year, I was able to walk away from my position and come and step into just smoothly transition. Right? That's all I did. I just transitioned into the business. Did I freak out in the beginning? Well, maybe not quite in the beginning. I think I was a little tired and frustrated. And just to be honest, when you're fighting all the time for respect, dignity, and different things like that, and safety. And you can get burnt out sometimes. No job is perfect. Every job has its ills. Every job has its situations. It has poor communication, good communication. It has good leaders, bad leaders. You have positive people and negative people. I was blessed to surround myself with the positive people along my 17 years of service. And I had a ball. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I enjoyed serving families and efforts to continue to serve families because in the capacity in which I was working, there's limitations. There are certain things that you can and cannot do. So knowing the core issues of some of the issues that, some of the barriers, issues, concerns that brought the clientele to our services, I'm happy that now I'm in a space where, yes, if you need those services or whatever, that's fine. That's what they're there for. That's not what we do. What we do is help build you. And it's hard Because when you have certain situations in your life and then people, you leave with a list, 2, 3 pages long of responsibilities that you got to do, you wonder how you're going to meet them all and how are you going to meet your obligations. And many of them get it done and some don't. Some never even try, but some accomplish it. It's hard in the beginning. They got to figure it out, but they figure it out. So my piece is to help you not only navigate through life challenges when things go awry, but to also ensure that you have a clear, precise understanding of your life, the life that you want to live in every aspect, from your health to your finances, to your relationships, to overall your life purpose and vision. Why do you want a better life? I wanted a better life because I wanted to be able to provide for my children. I wanted to be able to experience different things. I wanted them to learn more than just the city that they lived in. Because back in the days when I was going through training and when I first got into the field, there were so many things that I was learning about the community that I lived in that I didn't even know. I just assumed that everybody's life was like mine. And guess what? Everybody's life is not like mine. Some people never leave outside of the city. Some people never get to experience a college tour. Some people never get spoken life into them to tell them that, guess what? You got what it takes to do what it do. All you got to do is figure it out. And here's some steps that you can plan. I try to make sure that you walk away with something that you can stick in your pocket right now and then try to figure out how you're going to work it into your life. Because these are steps that I did myself to get me right here where I'm at. And like I said, I bought me a little bit of time. But what I also did was allow myself, I was able to invest enough in myself to provide the time for me to really go all in and learn what I needed to learn. I was on a coaching call last night, and my coach said, he asked us the question, what was the last thing that you spent $2,000 on? And I get it. $2,000 is a lot of money. Well, so for some people, I don't know, depending on where you at. But where I come from, that's a lot of money to really have. So what are you spending $2,000 on? And I could say I've spent that a couple times in different areas on building my business, the different apps, the different tools, the different systems that I need in place for my business to run and function properly. It required some investment. The coaching that is not required, but I strongly suggest that you get some help in doing this because you can't do it alone. There's some things that you will be doing alone that you have to do because you want to learn to grow your business. You want to know every aspect because before you start resourcing or hiring other people to do certain things, like some people I remember, because who you start out with, you're not going to end up with. Everybody that starts out in the race with you, some of them are going to fall off for whatever reason. Some of them, they're just hovering on the side, but they're not really in motion, but they're there, but you don't see them. But those that are running with you, and then you're going to see some people fall off, you're going to see new people come in, and they're going to be running. But as that's going on, and you are getting clear on your vision, because when I first started, I came in for the services. I came in because I had an opportunity. It was cost effective. It fit my budget to begin building something that now has broadened my horizon, has me creatively looking at other ideas to expand it and make it better and really hone in on the brand of Tammy's. But I couldn't do that without Coach Sean Rice and Bobby Jackson and Junior. That help us through Breakfast with the Brand. So with all the education that I've invested in while I was invested in myself, every piece of it, when I tell you everything that I have gone and attended and been a part of up until this moment has all of it was stepping stones. It was pieces of the puzzle that led me right here. That now, by the time I got to Coach Sean Rais, I was basically sitting in and listening, and then I was able to go through and go down the checklist. See, it wasn't that the prior coaches and leaders didn't give me what I needed. They did. I was unclear as to what my vision and my focus was in my business. I was not clear as to why I wanted to have a business. What does this business represent? And each course, from raising your standards to learning your values, the value propositions, marketing, scaling, and growing your business, financing, all these little intricate tools, social media, how to develop relationships, how to build strong working collaborative relationships. All of this working in the background brings clarity, it brings focus, makes you more intentional. That's why we work from the 5 framework: who, what, where, when, and why. Because you got to know what you're doing, why you're doing it for. First of all, know who you are. And I've been working on who I am for a long time. And I love who I am. There's some things that I'm probably never going to change about me because I'm cool with it. I don't care if nobody else is cool with it. And there's some things in me, some parts of me that I had to change in order for me to grow. The growth breakthrough was not going to happen if I did not do the work on it, the inner work, to break through on the outside so that I can levitate or move to the next level. You'll hear me say that it's levels to this. They got a whole rap song about it. It's levels to this or something, but it's levels to this. It's levels in life. It's levels in growth and development. There's levels in life experiences, and there's levels in whatever it is that you decide that you want to do. But you have to determine what your risk level is. We talk about risk levels. Is it are you an aggressive risk taker? Are you conservative, or are you moderate? You got to know where you fit in. You got to know what lane you're in. Because if you're zigzagging all over the lanes, you're going to crash. Unless you're a very good driver. Because I can't say that. Because some people can multitask and some people can do more than one thing. Everybody doesn't have to just narrow it to one thing. But whatever it is that you choose is what it is that you must decide for yourself. And your why has to be strong enough because, yeah, I want to help people. That was my why. But then I had to look a little deeper. How can I help people? What do I do that can be beneficial to someone else's life? Well, let's see. I've learned how to raise 2 children on sometimes a shoestring budget. I learned how to invest in myself, to plan for retirement through a job and personal wise. Um, I've learned how to adapt and become resourceful when life adversity shows up. I've learned how to withstand and stay focused and understand that good things come in time. That anything worthwhile having is worthwhile putting in the work to do it. I found out along the way that financial literacy education is the foundation of anything that you do in your life. Without the good, proper understanding and knowledge of your finances and how you manage, spend, save, and or invest your money can make all the difference in your life. At least for the life that you're trying to live. It all depends on what kind of life you're trying to live. I'm trying to live the life where I get to love on my family and I can kind of do what I want to do when I want to do it. But there's work to do. I have people to help first, but I do take a moment. As you say, if you follow me, I have gotten the pleasure to visit some places that I wanted. They were on my bucket list. I have a few more on my bucket list, but they were on my bucket list. But it was through the opportunities presented that I took advantage of that opened the door, opened the gateway to get there. But guess what? My coaches are the bomb. That's all I got to say. Is my coaches are the bomb. Some of them you will meet and you will participate in their boot camp one time, and guess what? You're gonna hit the ground running, and you're gonna do. If you do what they tell you to do, you can't go wrong. You hit your mark, guaranteed. Now, maybe not all the time, maybe not right out the box, but guess what? You're gonna get better at it. And the better you hone in on your vision for your life business, whatever that may be, if it's helping people, um, or just creating something for you and your family so that you guys can do what you want to do. All of that requires a vision. And I'm going to say, you don't want to think small. You don't want to imagine small. You don't want to envision small. You want to have a big, broad vision, because the bigger it is, the scarier it's going to be. And the better you're going to feel, the more fun you're going to have. As you're learning through everything, the ups and downs, the good, bad, and indifferent, as well as I share with you guys. If you follow me, and I'm sure somebody will find a Facebook post where we talk about investments, but you'll see where I share different stats of my growth over my time, where I started, with how many friends, and different platforms and different things that I'm involved in. You'll see the charts with the lines, right? Some of them go up, some of them go down, some of them flatline. So I do that to share, to make it real, to bring it to life for you, because to me it's really alive. Every day I wake up, every day that God gives me breath in my body and the capacity to learn, think, and utilize my creative skills, and use my voice to help someone else. I'm excited about doing a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Yeah, you're gonna get tired. It happens. So you rest. You learn how to pause. That grace. Remember, I told you to allow yourself grace along this journey. Don't feel as though that if you're looking over here and someone looks like their car is speeding a little faster and you're back here, don't worry about that. Focus on where you are. Focus on what it is that you're doing. Trust me, on the highway, there's always other lanes and there's always vehicles, but you can only drive the vehicle that you're in. So stay in the vehicle that you're in. Stay focused on your who, what, when, where, and why. And make sure that you're planning for those things that you want in your life. What are going to be your income streams for your financial health? What are the components of that? Because today you're either working one, two, some people working 3 jobs to make some things happen in their life. And if you're working 2, 3 jobs, I hope you have a real strong investment plan, or you're sitting down and talking to a financial advisor or a chief financial officer, someone that deal with finances that can help guide you on your path. Because if you're working 3 jobs and all you're doing is that money is going out towards bills, you're paying your bills, you're not really managing it, you're not really putting your money to work for you. Stop it. Stop that right now. It's the third day of January. Cut that out right now and start thinking about how you can start to begin to put your money to work for you. There's a whole lot of people that you can learn from. And I always tell you, along my journey, I'm telling you, the room is full with plenty of leaders with knowledge and expertise in their areas that can help you get to where you're trying to get to. If you're starting out without an idea, and if you happen to have an idea, they can help you hone in on it and really look at it and see the things that you can't see. Like I said, you need someone that can see the things that you can't see, because we have blind sides. And that's what coaches and mentors are for. That's what communities are for, with like-minded people. We're all on the same journey. We help each other. We work with each other. And that's what it's all about. I just over the Christmas holiday and reaching out to different people, I've met some amazing entrepreneurs that are doing some really great things. And I'm hoping that we can really connect and kind of get our schedules together. Possibly, maybe I could bring them to you so that you can hear a little bit about their journey and what they're doing and how they're progressing and what they actually do, what type of services they provide, um, and how they begin growing their business. Because it's very interesting. When we're in training, we're all on the same level. We're all there for one reason only, and that's to gain the knowledge that we need and get the keys that we need to help us improve and drive our business and make our business better. And the same will be for you. So when we're looking at embracing a new year with a purposeful life plan, we're looking at our income streams and financial health. We're looking at considering where we call home, right? And are you renting? Are you a homeowner? Or are you a property investor? We're looking at budgeting and personal growth. So that means every month, month by month, you have to realistically look at your life and really look at it. I know it hurts sometimes. It hurt me too, especially when I found out I was only worth what was it, one $189. That was my net worth when I did it the first time. That was so funny. But at least I knew, oh well, could have been zero, but whatever. You gotta have a baseline to start from. You have to have a baseline to start from, and then from there, figure out the variables, the algebra of life success, the AX plus the B. Then we look at the C times the AX plus the B, with the F timing the X plus the C, and the 11 minus the 9, and the P plus the 9. And what's those values? We got to find the value in those algebraic variables as it applies to your life. Your life is unique. You're unique. I'm unique. We're all unique. But we're here for a purpose. We're here to live this life, but to make it the best life that we live. We are born and then we die. It's what we do in that dash that's going to make the difference, because you're growing, learning, and healing anyway. You're growing and learning. Healing is a choice. You have to want to heal. You have to decide that you're going to do the work, the hard work that does not feel good, doesn't look good. But at the end of the day, once you get through it, it feels good and you wear it well. So it's a choice that you have to decide. So you have to really look at your life realistically. And what is going to be the financial compass that's going to guide you? What's the tools that you're going to have to help you as you're going towards your goals? And don't forget about investing in yourself. I told you you're the greatest asset that you could ever have. And it doesn't matter what you're investing in, whether it's your education, a trade, skills, employment, or starting a business, because personal growth is your ticket to success. I've done it all. Not to brag. I'm not bragging, because I'm sure there's some things in life I haven't done. But as far as the steps to becoming better and investing in my personal growth, I've done it. I've gone and applied and graduated from higher education. I get tongue tied. Got the job of my dreams. I worked in a career. I wanted to help people. Specifically, I wanted to help families, um, and I got the pleasure to do that along my career path. I've got to serve many families, um, and now I'm starting a business, and now it's time for me to drive it. So I'm here to share it with you. But we got to make sure that we're setting goals, and that we're setting a time frame for these goals. In your pursuit of a brighter future, setting goals is paramount. Now, some people will say don't set goals. Some people say they don't set goals. Some people just say they just do it. However you do it. I wrote many goals down. I have tons and tons of notebooks where I have written. I have diaries and journals from where I've been writing for over the years. And guess what? Some of those things got done. Some of those things still are yet to manifest, but I wrote them down nonetheless. And the time frame in which it takes to manifest was not so much my concern as it was achieving the goals that I set out for myself. Because like I said, once you set a goal for yourself and you achieve that goal, there's another goal that you're going to be working towards, and another and another and another, because that's part of growth and development. You become curious about life. You become uh I like to call it a wanderer. I'm an explorer. I'm just a traveler passing through. So if we should bump into each other, let's make sure that we're having a wonderful, great experience. And if not, oh well, it still be a great experience. We'll learn something about each other. Um, so you want to make sure that you are setting goals, and that you determine a time frame for your dreams, because whether it is a short-term goal achievable in 1 to 5 years or 5 to 10 years. Crafting a list for both your short and long-term goals is best, as well as suggested, because sometimes the short-term goals run into the long-term goals. It's a big elephant. Did I say that yesterday? It's a big elephant. So um, you don't want to eat the elephant all at one setting. You want to enjoy it and kind of take bite sizes, eat in moderation, take what you need. Don't do it in excess, because we don't want to waste it. We want to be able to utilize each part of our growth process. So make sure that you're doing long term and short terms. Now, when it comes to a debt management and a fresh start, for those carrying debts, having a plan for repayment is liberating. It really is. Doesn't feel too good when you're paying it back, but you know that you're going to start it off and you're going to have it paid off my debt day. How great is that? That bill won't be coming and they won't be calling me no more. So that's a great thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little special. I don't know. It is liberating. So having a plan for repayment is liberating. Prioritizing high interest debts and explore consolidation options. They both ways work. But as long as you're addressing the issue, I think you're going to be fine. And the length of time that it takes you to do it, because remember, it's the action steps that we take and the consistency. So if you're working down and managing debt, and if this is your first time doing it, don't get all hysterical as you're putting things into place and something comes up, because guess what? Life be lifing and we be living. So just get back on the pony and make sure that you do it. Seek open communication with your creditors, and or maybe you have a system that helps you do all of that to get your credit and everything together, where you can actually see it for yourself and you will be able to knock it down in the privacy of your home. But that's up to you. That's a choice for you. So you want to prioritize your high interest debts and explore consolidation options. And don't forget to set a clear start date for your financial and life planning. We are on January 3rd. Do you have, was your start date January 1, or is it January 31? Or is it February 1? Or is it March 1? Like, what's your start date that you're going to get this stuff all together? Write that down. For your financial life plan, the date signifies the beginning of your journey towards a better future. If you have no date, you're going nowhere. I forget something Coach Sean Rice says about I forget it, but I'll come back to it. I'm not going to quote it right now. Maybe he'll say it in the Breakfast Club, so join us. Um, Breakfast with the Brand at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. He's out there, ladies and gentlemen. So look him up, check him out. Let's see. So yeah, so if you don't have a date set, then for the beginning of your journey towards a better future, I don't know what you're doing. So I want you to remember that your journey is unique, but you're not alone. Many who walk similar paths and overcome obstacles seek inspiration from those who have succeeded and consider joining a community that shares your aspirations. As we step into 2024, let's embrace the opportunities it presents. Your life planning journey is a testament to the power of self-belief, determination, and commitment to making massive changes. The canvas of the new year awaits your brushstrokes. Make it a masterpiece, because only you can. It's true. So as we are making the life plan decisions based on your current circumstances, we want you to really consider and make it a thoughtful process that encompasses various aspects of your life. So again, I'm just going to review it one more time. The things that we need to be looking at for our life planning decisions, because our lives are serious business and only we can live it, right? So, hey, pick up the pace. That's all I can say. Income source. Begin by assessing your income sources, which can include trust funds, employment, sponsorship, or public assistance. Understanding the stability and reliability of each source as it forms the basis of your financial planning. And business building is also a part of that. We're going to be looking at financial accounts. You want to evaluate your checking, savings, and investment accounts. Take note of any fees and service changes that may impact your overall financial health. Ensure you're optimizing your accounts to minimize unnecessary expenses. So watch your spending. Make sure you're not incurring key unnecessary fees. And that you're getting your bills paid on time, because that's important. That's how your FICA and Advantage scores are calculated based off of your payments, your utilization, how much credit you have available to you, how many revolving loans. All that stuff you got to take all that into consideration in your financial account. So you want to optimize it. You don't want to mess that part up. So you want to make sure that you're looking at every aspect. And when it comes to, if you are thinking of being a first-time homeowner, or you're transitioning from apartment living to becoming a homeowner, or maybe you're going for your first apartment, you want to plan for that too. You want to make sure that that's allotted into your financial accounts. We talked about home ownership. We talked about the preparation for home ownership. I believe it was a couple series backs, but we'll go back over it again. I just want to close this out today, but I wanted to remind you that in preparing for your housing decision, is it going to be a 1-bedroom studio, or is it going to be a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment, or mini townhouse that you're going to rent? And your deposit, how much is that? Will you have it? And your first month's rent. Now, also with preparing for your deposit, you got to also remember that you're saving for your deposit for the new location, as well as how are you going to decorate it? You need a bed, you need pots and pans, you need dishes, glasses, furniture to sit on, table, TV, all the comforts of home. So you want to make sure you're allocating this on your list for finances. So housing decisions, when it comes to living quarters, you want to consider factors like whether to rent or rent to buy or own property, or are you in a position where you're investing in property, you're flipping and flipping and fixing houses, or you're wholesaling, or you're doing a multifamily thing where you're buying a home, but you're gonna have another property that you can fix up and possibly help someone else live there, and provide them a beautiful living space as well. There's all different options here, ladies and gentlemen. You're not, don't box yourself in, only if you want to be in the box. I don't know. I jump out the box. I'd really rather get rid of the box. So you want to determine the type of housing, such as subsidized or non-subsidized, fixed rate or annual percentage rate. Assess your family's needs for bedrooms, baths, outdoor spaces like a yard or porch, or any associated fees. Because some home developments, they have homeowners association fees. So you wanna make sure you got all this information, because we're life planning here. And this is for my peeps that might be in college right now. You still like you're on campus, but you're still home with mom and dad, but you're kind of contemplating, I'm ready to go do my own thing. So don't do like Tia. Don't jump out the fire pan into the fire. Don't deep dive into the deep part of the pool or the ocean without having your life jacket. Make sure that you are allocating funds for each part of your life plan and dreams that you are pursuing for you this year. So you want to look at the location and the amenities, because location is everything. Some people like, I'm big on the ocean, but after one stay during a storm and AC, I don't think I want to be that close to the ocean. But I do still have the hopes and dreams of one day owning a beach home that where you can all go, because we love the ocean. It's something about the water. So location, amenities, and like I shared with you here, the decision to purchase this home, going from a renter to purchase this home, there were key factors that I needed. The schools, how close in proximity were they? Transportation, because by that time we moved here, the children were going from middle school to high school. So now they're talking about working jobs and stuff like that. So I needed to make sure that they had transportation that was close by, so that they can get to and fro to do what they needed to do. So analyze the location of your chosen residence. Is it in a good neighborhood, gated or non-gated community? Check for proximity to schools, public transportation, and other essential amenities. Be mindful of any association fees or application fees. When you're budgeting, you want to create a detailed month-by-month budget. Be realistic and specific, adjusting it as needed throughout the year. Track your income and expenses meticulously to ensure you're living within your means and saving for your goals. That's so important, guys. Budgeting. Learning how to live on less to have more later on. It's a knack, but you can do it. You can do it. Investment in yourself. Invest in your personal growth, whether through education, trade skills, employment, or starting a business. Consider the time and resources required for this investment, as it plays a crucial role in your long-term financial planning. Again, we want to remind you to look at the time frame, determine how much time it will take to accomplish your desired goals. Is it a short-term goal achievable within the 1 to 5 years, or a midterm goal in 5 to 10 years, or a long-term aspiration? Create a list of both short and long-term goals to break them down into manageable steps. We don't want to eat the whole elephant. We want to break it down into little pieces. We want to enjoy it as we are in being delighted from the taste on our palate, and enjoy the experience and the journey. So debt management. If you have accumulated any debts, create a plan to pay them back systematically. Prioritize high interest debts and consider consolidation or refinancing options to reduce the overall burden. Your start date, that's so important. You don't want to leave that out in your life planning. Finally, establish a clear start date for your financial and life plan. Today's January 3rd, 2024 at 11:54 a.m. that I'm recording this. So make sure you have this date marked. Your final, establish a clear start date for your financial life plan. This date marks the beginning of your journey towards achieving your goals and aspirations. By combining these elements, you have a comprehensive life planning decision process that considers all aspects of your current situation and sets you on a path towards a more successful and prosperous future. So I think I did this in an hour's time. I may have kind of strayed off a little bit, but I wanted to share a little bit of myself with you and understand that this is a journey that I'm on. Everyone says they want to help people, but we're not really clear as to how we can help someone. I feel like my whole life I've been some sort of I don't know, people's coach, life coach. That's why I call it life growth specialist, because I feel like I'm just growing over life. And I'm gonna say something that my godmother once said to me, because I thanked her for being a vital part in my life, and being there for me in different aspects in my life as I was growing up. And I told her how much I admired her, and she told me that she admired me back because I didn't know it at the time, but she was still growing and learning and healing her own life. But she was determined. She had goals. She had a life plan. She was looking at her finances and knowing what she wanted, how she wanted to change her life. At the same time, there was a little age difference, but that's why I say you can learn from any age. Your age doesn't matter. It depends on where you're at, what it is that you want out of your life. How soon do you want to get it? Where is it? Where is the change at? Where's the change at that you need to get to that's going to help you to begin the steps that you need to take, if that makes sense to you. But in life, we all have choices. And as we're admiring other people, and I admire a lot of other people, and that's not just out of hate. I just enjoy being excited about new stuff and seeing people grow and expand their life and just do some pretty awesome things. Because when I see them do it, then I go and do it. And sometimes when I talk to them, they tell me that I inspired them to do what they're doing. So I just want to keep that inspiration and motivation going, because we're in 2024. And if you joined me back in 2016 when I started this, I believe when I started this out, I told you that my squad is hot. We not only pretty, we got brains. And if you ain't ready, you might not want to step in the room, because we might hurt your feelings a little bit. We don't mean to, but we don't have time to play no games. We're serious about our business. We're all doing all different types of businesses. And we're working with each other and helping each other in the areas that we need help with. And as I'm building my team, I'm looking and I'm talking, I'm scheduling meetings so that we can sit down and kind of figure out, are we a good fit, not a good fit? What can we do together? How can we collaborate? And before I go, I want to leave you with this. I want you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I met a young lady, Miss Dawn Lewis. I posted her information on my platform when I was doing the Mass Millennial market vending opportunities and getting out to see all the wonderful vendors. And I'm just know that I'm coming for you guys. I'm gonna be hitting you up. I'm coming for you, because we gotta hit this 1 million and get people uh, on the path, on their life plan and path that they wish to, and that they're going to create for themselves. So um, it helps through connections and helping one another. So again, I want to tell you, I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to ask everyone that's following this page and everyone that is hearing my voice. I want you to go to the Facebook page, Food. What is it? No, Shoes for Your Soul. They're a nonprofit organization here in the Kansas City area that is doing wonderful things for our children. They collect new shoes and new socks for our babies. Go to her page, check her out, see what she has going on, what she's doing beautiful in the community. They just completed a fashion show, and see how we can help them out, because it's wintertime now when we want to make sure that these babies have shoes and socks so that they can get back and forth to school. Thank God we haven't had any snow, but it is chilly and we have some rain. So we want to make sure that our children have shoes on their feet. So if you can help out in any way, I encourage you to please go to uh, Shoes for Your Soul's Facebook page. Check them out. And if you're able to donate, please do so. We will be adding them to our donation list too, as well this year, because we want to help some babies have some socks and shoes on their feet. So with no further ado, as I always say, you are a winner from the time that you were conceived in your mother's womb. And you are born with all that you need to make your life a success. You just have to tap the power within. Don't let life on life while life is, don't allow life while life is lifing knock you out the game. Stay grounded, stay planted, stay focused. Know who you are, knows whose you are. Figure out what it is that you want out of life and go for it. And start the day. Don't put it off. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed week. See you tomorrow. Happy winning Women's Wednesday. And if you'd like to learn more about the Protection Plan membership, reach out to me. I got you. I'm here to help you get on track, because we want to see it grow, 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 grow. We're going to start off small, and we're going to watch it grow. We're going to watch it go. All right. So have a great day, guys. Bye.